If you're looking to learn to use Kahoot and then play a game with your students in the 2024 version, then this is the video for you. I'll even show you how to get the free account. It's still free. You've got to know which button to click on. Let's get started. Really hope you like the video. So I'm going to create an account from the beginning just so you can see the whole processes. So we need to click here on sign up for free. And when you sign up, notice that you've got these options, the type of account. We're going to choose teacher because we're teacher. And then I'm going to choose higher education because that's where I work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign in with my Google account. You can just create a user account normally, but I'm going to use my Google to sign in. So this is the page you should come to, and what you need to do is scroll down a little bit and you'll see that there's a button that says basic, and it also says there connect for free or continue for free. Now one thing to keep in mind is you can only have 10 people playing a game at any one time. So what you often need to do with the students is to put them into pairs or groups of 3. That way you can have 20 students working together or 30 students. You can only have 10 devices connected to the Kahoot when you're playing a game in the free tool. There are 2 ways of working with Kahoot. You can either create your own Kahoot or even use the AI to help you create a Kahoot, or you can find Kahoots that are already made, and there are millions of them. Now I've already made a video on how to do that. I'm putting it on the screen now, and you can click on that and it will take you through how to find pre-made Kahoots. In this video what we're going to do is we're going to create a Kahoot. We're going to go to create and we're going to click on Kahoot, and you do have now a couple of options to generate Kahoot with AI, but unfortunately that is in the paid tool. So we're going to click here on blank canvas, and I'm going to show you how to generate your own Kahoots very quickly. Basically the way it works is that you type in your sentence question here, and then you put your 4 options as possibilities here. Now you also have the option of adding up media. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to concentrate on the text. Let me fill in the first question and give you an example of what you could do. So the way that I've done it is that I've decided I'm going to make a little sentence with a gap in it, and then the students have got to choose the correct sentence. And obviously in this case the correct one is I woke up. In fact, I don't need the up here. I'll include that in the actual exercise. So I woke up early yesterday morning, and then the students would choose this. So I need to click here to say that is the correct answer. Now it is possible for you, by clicking in and uploading your own file, to actually use media from your computer if you want to add an image. I generally don't do that. If you choose images from here, unfortunately you've got to pay for those. Anything with a star requires you to pay. If you want more than 4 options as the answers, you can do that. 4 seems a good idea to me. Now one really important setting is here on the right hand side, because you can decide how long you want to give the students to answer the question. It's set at 20 seconds, but you can change that if you want. Now of course we need to add another question, and to do that, over here on the left hand side I'm going to click on add question, and I'm going to choose quiz. And so it's going to be the usual format, the format that we're using at the moment, which is question plus 4 answers. So it's our second question now, and I'm just going to fill in a second question. So as you can see now, I've added 2 questions and I've put in the possibilities. I've chosen the correct answer, and now I'm going to add one more question because I just want to show you something. You can click here, and instead of having quiz, which is multiple choice, you can choose true or false. And that's only going to give you true answers. 2 answers. And again, you would write your question or your sentence or whatever here, and then people are going to have to decide whether or not that is true or false. Let me give you an example. So I've just done a simple sentence here. The past of go is went. And I suppose it might be a good idea to put that like that. Okay, so just before we actually play the game, one final thing, click on settings and make sure you give your quiz a name. I've already done that. And another thing that you can do, as well as adding a description, is click here. This is just going to help you to identify your quiz. Click here, click again, and on add image. Now you don't want to use the Getty images because they're paid, but click on Unsplash, and you can just write something, and let's just see if I can find something. Past simple verbs. Let's see if anything kind of comes up associated with it. Not really. Let's have a quick look down here if there's anything I might like to use. It's only going to help me to identify that particular quiz. Let's say I'm going to use this one here. Okay, and then just here's a video or picture that helps me to identify. So click on done, and we're done now and ready to play. Okay, so we've got our questions on the screen. We're all ready, and we're going to click on this button here, save, and it's going to save our changes. And we're going to click now on host live because we're going to play this game live with our students. So we click here, and we're going to just go for the basic options. You've got a few kind of really basic visual differences that you can choose from, but remember we're using the free tool. Now notice here that you can only have up to 10 players. Now there is another very interesting tool called Blookit that does something very similar to Kahoot, but it actually offers more in the free tool. It's very much a game-based technology in the same way that Kahoot is. And if you want to know how to use Blookit, then watch the video that's on the screen now, and that might help. I'm going to click now on Start. And basically what this means is that students have got two different ways to log in. They can log in using their QR codes, so they would point their phone at the screen with the camera on and it would activate and they will be able to join. You can also do it by going over to the internet to www.kahoot.it and putting in that number. Now I'm going to log in both ways, so I'm going to log in to students and then we'll be able to see exactly what the student sees and then we're going to play the games. So let's have a look what the student's going to see, and I've logged in here over here, and this is exactly what the student's going to see, and they just need to write in that number 1677169, then press enter, and what it's going to do is going to ask for their name, so I'm going to write Russell and then click OK. Now actually the mobile will be almost identical, it will look exactly the same on the mobile as well. The one thing about the mobile is that you don't even need to put in the code because that's already included in the QR code. So the students simply add in their names and they will join the quiz. So we're back in the teacher's mode now and we can see that Russell's joined. And I'm just about to join now on my mobile. Now it's actually a lot easier on your mobile because you just simply write in your name and click on OK. And straight away I appear on the screen. So there are now two people waiting to play the game, and the teacher can start by simply clicking on this button here. So let's start the game. Now remember, you need to project the questions onto the board. The students need to see the questions because they can answer on their phones, but they can't see their questions on their phones. So it's important that when the question comes up on the screen that you're projecting that. And I can see now that one student has already answered, and you can see that it shows me here that I've had one answer, and I'm waiting now for the second student to answer. So this is what the students are seeing. They can't see the question, they can only see the 4 answers, and they've got to choose the correct one. And it's exactly the same whether it's on a mobile or on a laptop or on a computer. Now if a student doesn't answer in time, this is what will happen. We get a quick summary on the board and it shows us that only one student answered, the other one didn't find time to answer. That student got the answer correct. And now if we click on the next button, we get a quick update of the table. So Tom's now got 903 points, but Russell hasn't got any. And when we're ready, we click and the next question will now appear on the student's screen. And let's jump over and look and see what the student sees. And here we can see what Tom is seeing on their, what Russell is seeing on their browser. He's going to click on the question and put his answer in, and the other students also answered. And so now if we come and we can see that we didn't get that answer right. Okay, so let's go back to the teacher view and see what the teacher can see. And the teacher can now see that both students answered that question. But actually both students got the question incorrect, and so there's no extra points. We click on next, so it doesn't update. There are no additional points because Tom and Russell both got the question wrong. And then we're going to go to the last question, and this one's a true or false. So if we jumped over to see the question come up onto the screen, I'd need to see the question first. If I jump over to the teachers or students view and we click here, and now again I can see that I did get the question right this time. Let's jump back and see what the teacher sees, and the teacher again will see that Both students have now answered. One chose this, one chose that. Click on next and we'll see now who has won the game because there are no more questions. And that is how you play the game. Russell comes second and the winner in this particular case was Tom. And that is how you play a Kahoot. So the game's over and you might want to click here on view summary and you can actually get a kind of more detailed report by clicking here. Okay, it gives you a breakdown of the students. That's fine. It's just warning you that if you're still projecting onto the screen, the most useful information comes if you click on players and questions and feedback, and that can be really useful, and as well as of course the summary. And then when you want to start again, click on home or click on create and start another game. If you're looking for something a little bit more gamified, you might want to try Socrative. It's again, it offers a better free option than Kahoot, and it has a kind of race. So students are racing for the first one to finish and get the most questions correct. And you might like that. I've been using it for many years, and I'll put the video on the screen now that you can click on and watch that video. Okay, really hope you liked that video, and if you did, please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. Make use of all the drop-down menus at the top, loads of content, and there's also some content on the front page that you can access. If you want to keep up with my work, sign up to the newsletter. You get updated with all the latest videos and the free webinars that we organise. And of course, part of that as well is the 14-part video course where I basically highlight the most popular technologies on the website. And nearly all of the technologies that I highlight are free or have a free option. I send you a video every 3 or 4 days, and that can be really useful if you kind of want to boost your general knowledge of using technology in language teaching and language learning. If you'd like to do live training with me, then join me on Patreon. If you join me on Patreon, you get access every month to 3 additional videos, and these videos cover technologies that I often don't cover on YouTube. There's no advertisements, and I go into more detail around the ideas. So these are very much practical videos for giving teachers ideas of how they can use technology, teaching online or teaching in the classroom. Apart from that, of course, you get the live training with me. We meet once a month online. We look at normally just one technology, but sometimes 2. And we do lots of activities with those technologies so that we get really familiar with them. Now, there's about 80 people on Patreon, but most people just accept the recording and don't join me live. But there's normally a group of about 10 or 12 people. And that's really interesting if you want practical ideas and you really want to build up your confidence with using the technologies. The other thing, if you join me on Patreon, you will get at this moment access to all the backdated content. So if you pay your $6 a month, not only will you get access to the new videos, but in fact you'll get access to all the many videos that are already up on Patreon. So you might like to think about joining me on Patreon and joining me for live training.